After an exciting 2 weeks, Sexy Bacon and the kids stand out as the favorites. Will Sexy Bacon be able to overpower his way to a championship, or will the kids show that he has a few tricks up his sleeve? We'll see. It's week 3 of MKS. Welcome to week 3 of MKS. Boy, am I excited to be here. It's a little difficult. I mean, I'm so far from my condo, and I just miss that place so much. My therapist was talking to me recently, and they said they're thinking that I've developed a sort of psychosexual relationship. The combination of loneliness and all these sort of player triggers, the Car 4 theme of one of the rooms, they're very worried about the amount of time I'm spending there. So I know they're happy that I'm here, but it's tough to be on the road, to be quite honest, when I just want to be home in my apartment in my player-themed rooms. But keys to the race: avoid the oil. Great advice, unless you're the Saudi regime. Snake over the line. You've got a big straightaway. If you can get a few drifts in there, that's not going to hurt. And number 3, the shortcut can be shroomless. I don't expect anyone necessarily to be bold enough to try, but if anybody could, boy, it might be Lucky. This is a guy with a lot of guts, and he's taken the captaincy to heart. I think he's a really dynamic racer, and it's interesting to see on the street as well. Now all of a sudden you're getting to see people with those Apple Vision Pros, and I've definitely am not an early tech adopter, but I know Lucky was talking in the off season about AI and virtual reality and training in these sort of advanced, virtual environments. So perhaps that Apple Pro that, he might have had an early prototype for years, then that's what he was wearing. I mean, it might be the advantage there. And maybe he's calculating these things out in his head with the help of augmented reality, where to throw that perfect shell. But we'll talk to him about that another time. But right now, let's focus on the track. The kid, this is the guy I have winning this event. I mean, he is a dominant force, and Lucky not far behind him. He's got 3 shells. I mean, let's see if that VR headset can augment the perfect throw, and it just misses. And you just think that the kid, I mean, you've seen his last couple events. It's just like the gods are saying, hey, we've got you. You're worried about items coming your way? Don't worry about it. You need a mushroom? We got you. You need the perfect shock dodge? We got you. But look at this guy, Slam Carter in the ice cream cone suit. And to be quite honest, I'm sick of it. I think that it's a joke. He's too good a racer to be doing this kind of stuff. And I hear that the commissioner is going to start fining him. I say good. And I hope that the rumors that Baskin-Robbins is going to pay the fines is not true. Because I'm looking at a blue shell comes, blows up Shell Carter. Here comes Slam Carter. He steals the double box. That's incredible racing. That's a clutch moment. There's nobody to catch him now. Drops the bomb, just misses his brother. And chaos unfolds. Let's look at this. Lucky flying in there. Coombsy crossing the line, and let's go back. Let's see the damage that bomb caused. Look at this. Marky Mark, 3rd place. Triple banana split. And that bomb just missed Shell Carter, but it causes absolute chaos. Goes from 3rd all the way to 12th. You make a mistake on the track, you will get punished. And look at this. I mean, I think that he's just too good of a racer to be wearing something like this. You see a race like this, and that is incredible racing. That first place finish is iconic. But, I need people to realize that, stop tweeting, that I'm mad about it because I'm so dang hungry for an ice cream cone. That I'm, I can't handle it because, I'm dreaming of, Slam Carter being an ice cream cone and me licking the ice cream cone top on his head. Ooh, that's a beautiful banana throw. Stop posting pictures from, AI generated of me with a big, ice cream scoop and Slam in my lap. And I'm sort of taking the banana split. He's got banana peels around it. I'm trying to take a big bite of the helmet. Stop doing that. I don't want to see that on Twitter. Don't tweet that at me. But look at this, the race results. Shocking to see. I mean, the kid's in the mix, but that Slam Carter first. Boy, that is exciting to see. I mean, we heard about CBK and him. CBK said, hey, in a nice way, I'm coming for him. Competition is all about making the team better, and hey, if I'm racing better than Slam, that just means the team's, a really great team. But kind of a little bit of a shot that CBK might be ready to take that next step and go beyond Slam. So for Slam to get a 1st place in this event, that's huge to see. I mean, and it's interesting that 27 point the leaderboard. Slam Carter is obviously like 15 of those points. That's huge to see. I mean, and then JD Corp, hurt hurt by Marky Mark falling into last place. But let's move on to our next race, the keys to the race, Bone Dry Dunes. Safe left, fast right. Seems to be the case in a lot of tracks, but it's just, you know, it's a much faster to go right and try and cut it really short to the shortcut or the shorter route. But it can be very difficult to pull off if you don't have the perfect line. You can hit the fence. Drift Kings win. It is a drifting course. It is quick. It is fast. Lots of places for purple drifts. And then gap protection. You're going to be going in the air for a while, so make sure nobody has anything to snipe you with. And here is, I mean, the king of the course, Sexy Bacon, the man who, boy, he says some things to me that make me red in the face. And he's one of the few people that can really get under Mike Austin's skin. And I mean, you think about it, I mean, like, you saw Tucker Carlson, and I don't like that this was happening, but he was interviewing Putin, and I thought, you know, I have sat in the room with somebody who's much more deranged. And this is not to undermine how deranged, you know, some of these leaders are, but Sexy Bacon has the mindset of a lunatic. And I've sat in the room and gone toe-to-toe with him, so you know, he got pushed around out there as we expected, and you know, I have the experience interviewing somebody like Sexy Bacon, so I mean, if somebody's going to have to interview somebody like that, definitely should have been Mike Austin, because I know I've proven that I can go toe-to-toe with some real bad folks. But look at this, Sexy Bacon got knocked off earlier in the event, and he's fighting back in there, third place. He's looking good. Ooh, boomerang over the head, blocks the shell. I mean, Sexy Bacon's just electric to watch. There's the occasional race where he falls off, but I think I think it was about 7 out of the 8 races he's been on the podium this year. And that's his strength. I mean, I think the kid sometimes has the higher highs, but Sexy Bacon is just dominant. But Big Engine, I mean, look at this, a star, and he's having fun out there. I love to see this, and I mean, he's such an exciting young prospect. And it was an interesting route to take, and I mean, he's proven early on, like I had him, I think, ranked a little bit lower. The kid is so far ahead on the map. If you've been checking that out, it looks like he's got first in the bag. But I mean, Big Engine's an exciting guy, and he's done decently well in the first couple events, and I know that he's just sort of picking up the sport. He's kind of got the natural feel for it. I expect big things from him, and look at that. I mean, this is that interesting stuff you see. The green shell thrown backwards by the kid, it bounces and it blows up a shell headed for Sexy Bacon. Sexy Bacon blows up Shell Carter. Slam passes him. Oh, the chaos at the line. And let's look back at some of the racers who finished maybe a little bit further behind. CBK, not a great start to this event so far. I think he was about 9th place in the last event. And not doing his best so far, but you know, we know that he's a talented racer. King Midas, once again, just kind of, he's hot and he's cold. And this time he is quite cold. But maybe it's the mental sort of difficulty of being back for this event. As we know, CBK's terrible injury happened at Bone Dry Dunes, or sorry, not Bone Dry Dunes, Grumble Volcano, which is the next event. So I think maybe some of the mental aspect of getting back on the track and getting back into the place where his accident happened, I think we can't blame him for having a little bit of an off week when stuff like that is going on. But with that first place, the kid hops into first place. Slam Carter, he gets 4th place, pretty good, and just sort of off the pace of the kid. I think now that the kid's got first place, it's his to win. He's 4 points up on Sexy Bacon. As I said, Mike Austin, is he psychic? I don't know. Maybe I just know a thing or two about the track. Shell Carter, you know, a little bit of a difficult event, but not the worst. That shell caught him. He would have been 3rd in the event so far if he wasn't back shelled by Sexy Bacon. But I mean, that's just proof that back shelling is sometimes an important thing to do, even though it causes major CTE, apparently. Unproven, but seems to track logic-wise. But Burning DK just extending its lead a little bit. Slam Carter and Sexy Bacon both on the podium. Imagine if CBK was having the event he was having last week. They would be running away with this thing. And JD Corp bounces up. I mean, they took a big leap. But I mean, that's what happens when the kid is just racing well. And here's the keys to the race for Grumble. As I was saying, the track falls apart. And that is not something that I say lightly. That was the cause of CBK's accident. And To be honest, Morton Construction, who put together the track, they did have a lengthy court battle with CBK saying that the track is supposed to fall apart. That's what it's supposed to do. We don't know that for sure. It seems like an odd thing to build into a track, but be brave like CBK and join the track. And of course, the last lap does have a shortcut. So it opens up that hopefully we'll get to see some of these racers take a really fun final lap shortcut and fly over the gap and stuff. But look at this, the kid, ooh, another green shell missing, just so much stuff, but that red shell is tacked onto him. It is ready to hit him. And I mean, he falls back about 8 spots. That's tough early on when you're in first place and you're pulling a coin or something, and right behind you apparently is a red shell. I mean, it is hell on wheels out there. I really do think that in the opening of the event, if you're getting first place to pull a coin, we've got to do something so that second and third are not pulling red shells. It just seems like an unfair advantage to kind of blow up somebody who's just racing and having a good time. But speaking of racing and having a good time, Sexy Bacon looking pretty good out there. But I mean, King Midas, it's either that he's drowning with his demons or he's running away from them successfully. And in this case, looks like he's running away from them. But one of his demons is Marky, an old competitor, and obviously that 1v1, as we've mentioned, was just a devastating blow for him. But King Midas just looking good, flying away from there, and Marky Mark just decided not to pull the trigger on throwing some greens at him, which I guess, might be good. Oh my goodness. I mean, this guy is out of his mind. That was such an early pull on the boombox, but he blows up the blue shell. I mean, he's just... It's exciting to watch him. You don't know what you're going to get, but the kid, every time we put the camera on him in this event, he's just having a hard time. He's falling into ninth. He's getting blown up at the wrong times. And this is a difficult track, no doubt about it. But, I mean, he's just having a tough time. Sexy Bacon not having as tough a time. Looks like with a good race here, and if the kid's not able to recover too much, that Sexy Bacon could jump into that first place spot potentially. King Midas, he is just in the narrowest of first place, and he is starting to just close it out. Hopefully he can hold on. It would be huge for Morton Construction. But, I mean, an interesting little finish to it. It looks like that 1-2 is all good. Flying over the gap, Marky Mark and the kid, and Lucky, boy, 3 gap flies. And let's just go roll the tape back a little bit. Watch Lucky fly over that gap, that third place. And, of course, Marky Mark 4th, the kid 5th. But it's a fun shortcut at the end, no doubt. And we're just looking back at something that happened just a moment ago, but Big Engine flying off the track, and then, boy, he is just stuck up there. And I'm sorry that we're showing what seems to be just a gag clip from him, but, he's going to be a great racer in this league, and the league needs Yoshis. I mean, Bloshi got replaced and Team Money out, but Yoshis are, some of the most talented racers in the world right now. Not on MKS, but, I mean, there's no doubt it's a very popular build. Look at this. Ooh, blows up Lucky. And there's a lot of animosity between Shell Carter and Lucky recently. This is some gorgeous stuff. These green shells, I mean, you kind of want to nerf them. They're a little crazy, but when you get a pull like that, you throw it off the wall, bounce, whang, boy, it's fun to watch. And look at this, the kid and Sexy Bacon tied for first place, and then Lucky and Shell Carter tied for 4th. I mean, those are 2 battles worth watching. Slam Carter, he's got a pretty good lead. Of course, if Shell or Lucky were to get first place, Slam Carter gets a 5th place or something, he'll fall off the podium, but likely he's gonna hold on to 3rd. But it's that 1st and 2nd battle and that 4th place battle that we really need to watch out for. A huge battle as well between Morton Construction and JD Corp. They're separated by 3 points. Once again, Shell Carter comes out and has like a really big event. Could be exciting to see what happens. There could be... JD Corp is just great. But, that Marky Mark first race where he fell back into 12th, no doubt that has kept things close between some of the other racers. And let's look at Choco Mountain. And I don't appreciate that one bit, to be quite honest. Mouth-watering. And as I said, they're sending me pictures of me licking an ice cream cone version of Slam Carter. Talking about Oh, he's going to eat an entire chocolate mountain coming up. He's just so obsessed with Choco Mountain. I don't want... It's not real chocolate. They're not racing on real chocolate. Anyway. Oh, boy. I don't even remember what the keys to the race were. I was so pissed off by that. Whoever did... If that was intern Kyle, there's going to be a lot more thank you, sirs, and yes, sirs, that are going to be trained into him. But let's focus on the exciting world of the track. Sexy Bacon in first place. He's looking good, and look at this trouble unfolding. CBK hasn't had the best event so far, but look at this. He's flying in there. He's as confident as ever. Maybe he's getting a little bit of that confidence boost. He sort of rode the dragon and survived. Came back from Grumble Volcano alive, and boy, let's look at the, sort of battle between Lucky and Shell. I think Lucky slightly ahead of Shell Carter. There is a real battle there for that fourth place. And, they're just, boy, this is exciting to watch. He's got a red shell, fourth place. The kid throwing back bananas. You can't hit Lucky. He just feels like he's untouchable. And maybe he's got that fourth place in the bag. The kid, blown up by Shell Carter, and Shell is smiling and having a good time. Oh, yeah, look at that guy drifting. He is in the hunt right now. I think Lucky in third place. Boy, the kid is looking further out of it. Ooh, and Shell Carter, the double boomerang to Lucky. And look at that, 2 green shells flying by Lucky. And it seems like one of them might have hit Shell Carter, but a third. So that's the same boomerang 3 times against Lucky. Man, that is exciting. But up in first place and third, it looks like, unless a blue shell disaster comes, Sexy Bacon running away with this thing. And we've got CBK behind him holding tight. We heard on their radios Sexy Bacon telling CBK, hold tight, be my shield. And CBK saying, hey, as long as I get second place, I'm A-okay with that, big brother. But look at this. Oh, King Midas just stealing second place from CBK, but the red shell comes. It blows him up at the line. And CBK, an exciting finish. Lucky is not going to be able to pass ahead of Shell Carter. That blue shell blows him up in the air. And boy, that was an exciting finish to the race. The kid just couldn't show up the way he needed to win the event. And Sexy Bacon, with the help of, I know we've used the term, and I don't apply dork to CBK, but any long-term fans of MK1 know the whole dork shield debacle in which Donald Hogg used potentially Shell Carter as a dork shield to protect him from shells. For Sexy Bacon to sort of have a quote-unquote dork shield now, a cool guy's shield. I'm not going to call CBK a dork, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of humming and hawing from the talking heads about that one. So it's interesting to see Sexy Bacon having no problem with it now. But look at this, Sexy Bacon winning the event, shocking the world. The kid in second place, and Slam Carter, not the most exciting finish, didn't finish that well, but holds on to third place just by a little bit. And we see Burning DK just running away with things this week. I mean, it's Sexy Bacon's world, and we're just living in it. I mean, I'm blown away. We're one better race by the kid away from him pulling it out and winning like I predicted, but it's just exciting. This is going to be back and forth. It's going to be JD Corp and Burning DK fighting it out. It's going to be, probably the kid and Sexy Bacon battling for that first place spot. And then you got Marky Mark, Lucky, and Shell Carter, who are all looking like they can fight for that third place spot. The difficult thing is Shell Carter has not made the podium in an event this year. Fourth place 3 times, but it's good enough for the podium overall. He's just been consistent, but I know he's not happy with his racing. Sexy Bacon barely ahead of the kid. 2 firsts and a third. The kid second, first, and second. And then Lucky and Slam Carter, CBK, they're all kind of battling it out. I know that Slam Carter and him were tied last week. It looks like Slam Carter has got the edge so far over Comeback Koopa. One of them had to go ahead in this week, most likely, unless they were to tie. And then, Diesel, he had a really exciting event in week 2. Not too much action this week, but I mean, week 4 is coming up soon, and I'm excited to see what he does. I mean, he is exciting on the track. There's no doubt about it. He's been in more highlight reels than most racers because he's a bruiser. He knows how to race, and he knows how to do things that go beyond, is this the smart thing to do on the track? He thinks, is this the thing that's going to get the fans out of their damn seats? Because that's what people pay to come and see. So, I love that guy. He's a hell of a racer. Have to have him on the drift sometime. Me and Scott Walker sit down, maybe crack some brewskis with him. But look at this. I mean, it's just tight. It's tight stuff. I mean, Morton Construction and Hellmouth Racing battling for that 3rd place spot. Nobody wants to be in 4th. It's not, you're not going to get relegated. These guys are paying a lot of money for these teams, but essentially, emotionally relegated. And then, of course, JD Corp is just looking great. Bernie DK, when they're on, they're on. So this is exciting, but tune in next week. I'm excited to see what happens.